Hello, everyone. Welcome to the orientation session and a special session after the results, which was like many of the students actually got in touch with me and they wanted to know how to go about further. So that's why this session was planned. So failing isn't the end, and let's re strategize. Always remember whenever there is a pause, whenever there is a failure, it's just a pause, right? Always remember it's not the end, it's just a bend. What we need to do is just to re-strategize. That is the only thing which is required. And it is like something which you have chosen as an MRCUG is one of the gold standard degrees. And we all know that all the hiccups, all this ups and downs which we have been going through this journey, particularly when you were in the part two exam. So I think we all are now prepared to take on all the challenges. So that's what we are going to discuss today in this session. So I welcome you all to this session, and there are students from the new batch and some of the prospective students who have not yet started but may like to start. So I welcome you all here. And this is an open session. If you still want to share the link to any of your friends, you are welcome to do so, though, and they can join. It's going to be a 35 minutes interactive session. I would like all of you to talk about also like what are your thoughts, and you are very much welcome to discuss that or your queries, your questions, or whatever you want to know. We are going to talk about that. So let's start here. First, we will talk about what are the challenges, what leads to failures, followed by how the course is going to be. So those who have already joined, they will get a clear overview of how the journey for their through the course till the next exam is going to be, and what are the things they should focus on while preparing for the exam. So let's start. Let's re-strategize, or maybe strategize for the first time course. As if you have seen our results, so many of our students who actually got their result in the February for the part 2 exam, they have also done their May exam. They were quite dicey whether they can do in 2.5 months or not, but they trusted the process and they went through it very smoothly. Yes, it was not easy because they had to devote more time than those students who were devoting at the time in 6 months. But then it was perfectly doable because, as we say, that our tagline is success in 70% less study time. So, whatever content you will be having in the course is totally a focused content, right? So, you have to pay attention to that part, what we are discussing in the course. No need to go too much beyond it or too much into the depths of many things, but yes, whatever is taught here, that needs to be practiced again and again and again till the things come on your spinal level, because it's for sure that you don't get time to think. It's not the job of the brain which you do in those 3 hours, because it's too quick. So it has to come at the level of automation. That is coming at the level of the spinal. So that's how the practice is required. So yes, we are going to work in the course group, but practicing at home with the study buddy remains still the basic point here, which needs to be done always. So from the very beginning, it is advisable to have a study buddy. Particularly, you should try to have at least 3, 4 study buddies, because see, everybody is in the work, everybody is having the family and all these responsibilities. So sometimes the circumstances may become difficult for you or for your study buddy. So it's always good to have a group of 3, 4 people, so that at least even those two who are there, they can be together and they can practice. Never try to prepare for part 3 alone. People have done it, like they will make the role player their husband, or maybe they're one of the friends or colleagues or somebody who is not preparing for MRCG. They are helping them, but it is largely advisable to do it with in the group or with the study buddy, because that's the best way to do it. And right now, I'm going to tell you how kind of a marking sheet we give to you, so that even when you are practicing with your study buddy, still you can get a proper mentor-like feedback, because your study buddy is having a marking sheet in her hand, so she can easily mark you. And even if she is also like practicing the same way you are, but because the marking sheet is there, so again, that practice also becomes very relevant, because she will be giving you exactly what is written there. So again, that becomes a very, very important point for your practice. So, okay, so a lot of this and that. Now let's come to the exact point and let me take you through this journey. No, my first question is, so basically your journey to MRCG Part 3 success starts here. You are at the right place. So insights, strategies, and solutions to help you pass confidently. That is what is the motto of this particular session. Because before we start the course, we should have a clear overview of how the next 6 months is going to be. So why this session? 70% of the repeat candidates fail due to lack of structured preparation. They have done many tasks, but they have actually tried to mug up the tasks, or they have done the task per se. Okay, this ectopic pregnancy, so these things I'll be telling. But actually, in exam, what happens? Some of the tasks may come same it is, but many a times this adds slight spice into it. So you need to be prepare with the understanding, not just knowing it. So structured preparation is very needed. Repeating the same mistakes again and again. So this won't work. Once you get a feedback, you should try to work over it. Sit at home, work over it, come back with a better version, so that we can then take you to the next level. Some problem also comes with the inadequate feedback, because right now with the mentor you are getting the feedback, but that's once or twice you are presenting the cases. So what about the remaining tasks? So for that we have got two options. We do give you the homework options, that is the daily homeworks, where the mentors are only giving you the feedback. Again, that kind of a thing is totally structured, so that there is no bias over it and you get a clear view. Secondly, we provide the marking sheets along with the template, so that even if you are preparing with your study buddy, then also she can also mark you in the similar structured way. So a complete this loophole we try to completely block it. Studying alone without guidance, I told you it's very difficult for part 3. You must have noticed that in the part 2 also, that if you know exactly what RCG is looking for, it becomes very easy to pass. So let's change the approach this time and let's be better prepared. So from my side, what I say that common reasons for the failure are memorizing templates without understanding. This is what I wanted to say. Because it is more about like if I know so much theory, I have to tell all this without realizing that you are not touching all the domains. Because if we start talking about applied knowledge, we are talking at length about the procedure. But we forgot that there are certain safety points which needs to be incorporated at this point. So okay, if we have 10 applied knowledge points and 5 patient safety points, and I have less time, I may try to leave 2 of the applied knowledge point, but include 5 patient safety points in place of those 2 applied knowledge points. So this kind of a balanced approach is required, which does not come by simply memorizing the template. While you are speaking a line, you should be very clear which domain you are touching. Because finally, it is that you have to touch all the domains. So this only comes by when you are clear of which domain you are doing, which domain you are touching. That should be very, very clear. Not practicing real time exam format. Exactly the stations, how they are asked, what the role player questions have been till now. So when you get a clear overview of that, then it becomes very, very easy to duplicate the same thing in exam. Ignoring the communication skills. This nobody do deliberately. Nobody does that deliberately, right? Everybody knows that communication is a point. So you try to do your best in the communication. But where is the loophole? The problem is that when you are so much stressed, then you are totally concentrated on like, I have to finish, I have to finish, I have to tell this, I have to tell this. So once you are doing that, you are ignoring the communication skill, right? Because it happens. You're not doing it deliberately. It happens because your most of the concentration is on that. I have to cover this, I have to cover this, right? So, what is the solution to this? If you have only that much content prepared with you, which you can cover in 10 minutes, you have already done that homework, or that kind of a homework is already provided by your course, that we give you the enough content only which you can speak in 10 minutes. Why should I give you the content of 20 minutes and tell you to filter out the 10 minutes content? Why? I give you the 10-minute content, you know that this much I have to talk about, and keeping in mind again that it has good enough time for communication skills. What happens from the very beginning? We always are into the academics, so we try to focus more on the applied knowledge, thinking that the communication skills is fine. But don't forget, if the applied knowledge is 2 marks, communication is also 2 marks. So it is equally important. No personal feedback on stations. As I rightly mentioned, many a times you are practicing with your study buddy, but you and your study buddy are at a similar level. So now who is giving feedback to who, right? So you may not get that standard kind of a feedback. Secondly, many of the groups do not have regular homeworks also. So once you are with the mentor, you are getting the feedback. After that, you go home, you are doing on your own. So here, with the active sessions, you are getting your personalized feedback. In homework stations, again, you are getting a personalized feedback from your mentor. And then you have a marking sheet with you. So finally, at home also, when you are practicing, you can mark yourself with the marking sheet. Overwhelmed and unsure what to focus on. This is also a very common problem. Many a times you have so much content on your plate, you don't know exactly what to sort out and what to speak in the next 10 minutes, what I can leave and which is must to include. So knowing what are the failure points, what are the borderline points, so what exactly I need to say, when you know that, then you can easily pass, because there is no dearth of knowledge for the students who have cleared the part 2. If you have cleared part 2, you are very good in the knowledge. Now it is only structuring that knowledge, what is required for the part 3, right? So that's what throughout the course we are going to practice here. Now, along with this, if you have any more reasons, you think about that, that is also the reason for the failure, please share. The question is open, right? Please share. You can unmute and speak. You can write in the chat box. Anything else, any other challenge you think you have faced regarding the failure and you would like me to address over it? Yes. Anything, anyone wants to say? Anyone? No. Okay. Fine. So basically, from my side, I think these are the common problems which happen in the when the problem is there, when you are stuck. But that doesn't mean that new people don't have to focus on that, because see, every time you don't have to make a mistake to learn what is actually required. We learn from the others' experiences, and that's how the smart people do, right? So if you have to prepare in a smarter way, you have to learn from the others' mistakes. You are not bound to make same mistakes again. You know that this way things go wrong, so you will not go that way. So what needs to be changed now? Less quantity, more quality. So your templates should not have more quantity, but it should have quality, right? It should have the limited points which need to be spoken in all the domains. Focus practice with the feedback is very, very important. Guided approach to templates. Our templates are totally color coded. When you go, those who have already joined, they are those who are students, they know that when you go and check the templates, you will find them various, the sentences are colored, right? Somewhere they are red, so that signifies it's patient safety. Some are green, which shows that it is information gathering. Some are blue, which is communication. Then, so communication with the patient, communication with the colleague. So like this, there are various color coded templates are there. So that you know when you are going through the template, you are exactly what you are speaking. You know what domain you are covering, right? So that's how it helps. Mentorship, not isolation. Constantly we keep you in a loop. Regular homework practice and all this regular sessions, then first the module sessions, then recall sessions, then mock. So we keep you throughout in the loop. And with this kind of a practice, by the end of 6 months course, you are able to cover more than 400 stations. More than 400 stations. And I don't think you need more than that. Exam oriented learning, exactly what the exam is looking for. So let's build a smarter plan together and not the harder one. These are the commonly asked questions. I struggle to handle the scenarios as per examiner expectations. I don't know if I am practicing the right way. I'm unsure about how to start. All these questions I'm going to take up in the further slides. Okay. So what do past students do to pass the exam? What is their different approach from the students who get stuck? So first thing is you should be very clear about what needs to be done. So first and foremost, which I would say is the best you can do for yourself is to take advantage of your active participant seat and attend the live sessions consistently. Because if you are shying off not to speak in the live session thinking that I may go wrong, then what happens when you go wrong in the exam? Why not go wrong in the class, learn from there, and be best in the exam rather than leaving that failure for the exam? So always take out time. We give you schedule well in advance. So by tomorrow, like Tuesday evening, I'll be posting the schedule for next 3 months. So you will know which day you have a class. You can mark your days for the classes and try to attend all live sessions consistently and take your slot to talk about your station, get your personalized feedback from your mentor. This is the best thing you can do as an active participant. Try not to miss any class and at least be there for your active presentation. If you are not free, you are not able to listen to the complete class, that's fine. Ideally, you should try to listen to others as well. Because as I said, it is not necessary that we make the mistakes and learn. We can learn from the others' mistakes also. So that's how uh, best is that you stay in the session, clear all your doubts, take up how to speak, how to go about the station, what are the commonly made mistakes in this station, so that you don't make those mistakes. But if at all you are not able to do that, at least take out time to present your case as per your slot. Avoid knowing the recall cases before practice. After mock sessions, we do recall sessions. After this module sessions, we do recall sessions separately. Module sessions also have many recalls, but those are the tricky recalls, which we do later in the next 1.5 months. So ideally, I don't tell the recalls these cases. Many a time students panic that oh my god, I didn't know that, how can I speak? But what that is what the exam is. You will not be knowing what is the case about. So therefore always try to present the spontaneous cases, because the more spontaneity you are making your brain prepare for, you are making your brain prepare for that kind of a marathon to pass, because if the brain has undergone that experience multiple times, so he is now ready to take up the challenge. So this is kind of a practice for the exam. Mock exams are must. That is why we have made the 7 station mock also a part of your course. because we understand that yes, you need to do that experience. And what I suggest to all my students, and many of the students actually this time told me also that they were quite benefited by this trick, that once you are near the exam, last 1 month or so, you can do 7 stations at the same go with your study partner. Why one sitting you do 7 stations and let your study partner bring those stations, and one time you bring the 7 stations and let your study partner do that. That gives a mutual benefit to both of you, because the person who is bringing the stations, he is preparing the stations, like going through those stations, so he is doing the preparation for those stations, so he is getting prepared for the exam. And when you are doing those stations, then you are getting prepared. So both people are getting benefited by that. So do mocks yourself. It's not about every time spending money and taking so many mocks, but it is more about like doing repeated mock practice, which can be very well done with the study buddy. And of course, when you have a structured mark sheet and when you have a clear idea about the domains, it becomes very easy to mark each other. So it is actually important that you pick up the study partners from your own group, because see, when we are telling you something, that person is also hearing the same thing. So you both are on the same page. So it becomes very easy. Read relevant talks for repeatedly asked topics. Structured discussion tasks are very, very important. And they actually, if you know structured discussion, then you actually can score very well into it, because it's something like your exam viva. So therefore, it is very important that you go through some of the talks. Talk library will be added to all of the part 3 accounts in a few days, and it will be totally updated. So you can keep going through the summaries of the talks so that you are well prepared for your structured discussions as well. Listen carefully to the role play cues. This sentence seems very easy, but when you are into the station, when you are into it, you are more focused on, I have to complete this station. I have so many things to tell. So we try to overrule the role plays, but that is the biggest mistake we can ever make, because your role player has the question bank. If you are not stopping to ask the questions from the role player, or you are not listening to the role player instructions, then actually what you are doing, you are just leaving the question paper and trying to solve the things on your own. So that's the very, very important thing, that you take care of this, and uh, take care, listen carefully to the role player. Because even if you do not have the question paper, you don't know where you are being marked. So give enough time, enough space to the role player. And this seems easy, but that seems a constant practice. You will see while going through the classes how much on a spinal level we keep talking about our applied knowledge, not allowing the role player to come in. Sometimes when I make you practice, I'm the role player. I've literally struggled to go inside and ask you the question, to stop you and ask you the question. So this kind of a small things, this kind of a practice can only come when you are actively present um, in your sessions. So what is the new strategy? What is new? What I'm bringing for you as a new thing? First thing is structured station based preparation. Always, every station, not just few stations, every station should be, the structure should be very clear. And you should be knowing that in this particular station, what are the fail points, what are the borderline points, what are the points for the various domains, so that you can effectively touch on all these things and you are able to cover up them adequately to get the marks in all the domains. Most of my students, they actually pass in all the domains. They have reached their expected standards in all the domains. I think the credit is just because they understand what are the domains. Templates, role play, and feedback is everything provided. Live interactive classes, you have complete like opportunity to get your this thing, get your feedback about the domains. Mock exams with scoring, that is something which is a unique part of our course. Then homework stations is also a very unique part. Not many courses like give you this opportunity of doing the regular homeworks. And access till pass. Access till pass means that you can choose your active participation batch. Your active participation batch will be like one time you will be doing this 3 months, one time you will be doing your recalls, back sessions, and then your mock test. And but you can be listener in any number of batches till you pass the exam, and the access will be there. Homework station access will be there for you, so you can just keep continuing about it. So it has unlimited access and access till pass. This itself reflects that we are committed to make you succeed, because we know that till you succeed you are going to study with us. So therefore uh, we put in best efforts to make you pass, and this time also we have almost like 90% students pass in the exam. So constantly we keep working on it, and actually the structure is so designed that we also keep you involved to keep working in spite of your busy life. We don't need much time over it. You can record one station, which may take either 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or maybe if at all you are not knowing anything about the station, you may take 1 hour. That's it. That's it, what I require for a 6 month student. When we talk about the 3 month student, certainly I will be looking for 2 to 3 hours. But from this time onwards, 1 hour, 1.5 hour is more than enough. That is what you can keep spending on. So, what were the challenges and what were our solutions? Misunderstanding expectations. You don't know what examiner is looking for. So, if I give you the mark sheet, if you have in your hands the mark sheet, it becomes very easy. You know where you are marked on. So, that way you can remember those things and speak up in the exam. Lack of real exam practice. So, always do proper practice with the role player, with the mentors, whatever opportunity you get, do that effectively and take your personalized feedback, and try that when you come to the next session or when you go for the next presentation in the homework, try to include that feedback there, right? So this way every day you are becoming a step by step better, and when you become step by step better you are bound to succeed. Ineffective preparation focus. If you do not have a clear roadmap, so that's, I think, not a problem if you are already enrolled with us, because we give you step by step complete schedule so that you prepare all of the topics. But yes, the onus only lies on that you coordinate with us and follow the schedule effectively. That is what is required. So proven success formula finally comes out to be, of course, visualize the success process, but is it enough? No. Engage in the live sessions. Attend live sessions religiously. Practice role plays, case discussions, mocks with the mentors in the homework group and at your home with the study buddy. And focus. How much of the time need to be devoted on the theory? So a big, if I have to like divide this, then 40% will be the live session, 30% is the practice, but remaining 30% is your theory. So like this, you can divide your time. And yes, talks are very, very important for your part 3 exams. This is Dr. Samantha, what she wants to. Okay, so with this feedback, I just wanted to let you know how the templates have helped her doing this. The marking sheet which we provide, how that has helped her to gain the
Day
marks.
to express my heartfelt gratitude to someone who has been a steady, guiding light throughout my MRCOG journey, Bhavna ma'am. From my very first steps into part 2 until now, ma'am has been more than just a mentor. She's been a calming presence through every phase of uncertainty. And there's something so incredibly reassuring about her approach. A tone that steadies your nerves and a clarity that brings direction when things feel, more often than not, rather overwhelming. What I love most about her teaching is how intentional and precise it is. Every session is thoughtfully structured to focus on the target points, which are the real heart of the station. And the marking sheets she provides at the end of every station, they're not just feedback, they are actually a mirror reflecting exactly where we stand and where we need to go. It helped me grow in confidence step by step. I must also highlight something truly noble, something that speaks volumes about the kind of education.
So this is how you can see how the marking list which we are providing, that's
gives
actually
me great
helping the students to actually get a proper feedback and work accordingly. So this is how the things go. First 3 months, right now when we are starting. So till August, we will be finishing all the modules here till August, maybe last week of August, or those who are already, because 2 batches of the Patri are already running. So they will be finishing early because already 3 modules have been finished. But now those who are starting, they will also finish that by 31st August. Next comes simultaneously comes the homework station. So simultaneously you have the homework stations, and please take the full advantage of it. Try to do the cases in the homework stations as well, because they are also the same kind of recalls, and we try to do the same thing, right? When we are discussing what station in the group, we'll take the homework stations also from the same topic, same module, so that you are thorough with one particular module. And then once you book your exam, then we have the recall sessions. Why this is so that once you book your exam, because students who are really appearing in next 2 months, they need the most focus. So that's why we filter out the students, and only those students who have booked the exam will get into the recall sessions. Those who have not booked the exams this time, they can keep their recall sessions for the next time when they will be filling their forms. So recall sessions will start here. You will not be knowing what stations will be encountering. Yes, you will be knowing that today we are going to talk about these 2 modules. So you can be thorough with 2 modules. So like this, you start preparing now modules in a completer way, and look at your spontaneous performance, which is the exact reflection of your exam performance. And finally comes the mock before you go to the exam. So it's a complete process which goes through.
She started off with module wise classes, and her templates were just enough that you needed. They did not contain any irrelevant information, just the right amount of information that you could actually speak in those 10 minutes, because that 10 minutes time is where you have to be very specific, and every domain has to be covered in a way that you do not miss out on your marks. So that was what was very specific about Dr. Bhavna's templates. They were perfect with respect to all 5 domains that you would be marked for.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the what she has said. She is actually she has repeated her exam because she was previously doing for the other courses. But to my like she was surprised to see this all happening around the domains, and that is what she actually got to realize that what was missing in her preparation till now. So with kind of this domain wise coding, and when I have to give the feedback, whether I give the feedback or in the homework station, you always get the domain wise things. So, and the content has to be made in the template like that. It should not be overwhelming, because if you have to choose, then you may actually choose one domain more and the other domain less, and that may not work. So, touching all the domains equally is the most important part
She
of the template. So this is how like you will get your this I've actually made in a table format so that I can show you in one screen. But this can be in the form of the number of the bullet points. So what are the focus history points? What we need to say. So now you see that there are 10, 12 points. So now you can mark yourself. If out of 10 you have spoken 7, 8, then you pass. If you have spoken 6, 5, then you are borderline. If you have spoken less than 5, you fail. So now when this list is there and you are speaking, either the person who is with you, he can help you in marking like how many you have spoken, and you can see that whether you have done the borderline performance, whether you have done the past performance. You can mark yourself for the domains, you can mark yourself for the overall station. And if you are practicing this with a non-medico or a person who is not for the MRCOG, still you practice, you record your this thing, record your presentation, and then once you have done with that person, now keep this handy and put up your recording and start ticking, right? You can yourself mark yourself. So this is the ways like how you can actually work effectively even without waiting for the people, or take the best utilization of your time whenever it is available, and best utilization of your practice. Because even if you are doing 10 stations in a day practice with your study buddy but not getting effective feedback, then that time is getting wasted. If you are doing 2 stations but you have exactly know what the examiner asks and you are having the exact sheet in front of you, it becomes very easy. So that's the kind of a thing which has made our pass rate so good. Because ideally, I think everybody knows what is the theory part. Only thing you need to know is that how to cover the important points in 10 minutes. Because many students they struggle for that 10-minute time. And secondly, some of the students struggle that they miss, they touch on 1 or 2 domains too much and then miss on 1 or 2 domains, which does not work. So a balance. When you know that how to touch all the domains and what exactly need to be told, you can easily finish your stations in 10 minutes also. That's what Dr. Uma also felt when she
They
decided to.
gave us feedback in the homework stations every days, and that helped us to correct our mistakes, and that helped us to improve a lot. And also they cover all the newer talks and GTGs. I think she trained us like anything within a very short period of time. I thought whether I can appear for May in the initial period, but I was very confident in approaching the exam.
So basically, the practice, it's if you ask me how many hours to study, I never give answer to this question, because it's not about the hours. It is about the effective utilization of the hours, whatever you are putting in, and the kind of a content given to you, and the concise content, and the exactly what needs to be done in the exam that saves your time, and that goes with our motto of success in 70% less study time. As she said, she could prepare in a very short duration of time and just go through that with a very good percentage. So overall, it is more about, I would not like that the question you think is like how many hours. Think that whatever stations you have you done those stations effectively? And are you clear about it, that what exactly this station should look like in the exam? What points, what domain points should be covered to gain maximum marks in this station? That is what the station practice should look like. It is not that you have got a template from somewhere and you have marked it 10 templates in a day, you are good. No, you are not good. In your brain, you should have a clarity. How many points you talked in the patient safety, how many points you talked in the communication with the patient, how many points you talked about the communication with colleagues. This should be very clear. And whenever you are practicing, you should be marked on that. There is no
They
other way around. Now, this is about
The icing
something
on the
recall
cake
sessions.
was Dr. Bhavna's recall sessions, where the topics for the session were not told beforehand, and every station came as a surprise. And those recalls were what actually made us realize where we stand. So the recall classes were so beautifully crafted, one after the another, that you start gaining confidence after those recall sessions.
So basically, as I told you, you heard about the modules, the templates, now the homeworks, how the homeworks has helped. Now this is about the recall sessions, how the further practice with the recall session, the spontaneous practice that further gives you the confidence to approach any station in the exam. Even if it's a new station for you, still you know how to talk about it. That kind of a practice is what is given. And see, what I'm showing you here is the ones who have already done some courses, but then they decided to be with us and came up with that, because I think that kind of a
The
challenge
icing
people are facing here. Now, Whether one should start with the crash course or the recall course or the full course. So I would say that if anything has gone wrong, of course, the people who are doing for the first time, they need to start from the basics. This everybody knows. But the repeaters, those who have already done 1, 2, or 3 courses, or maybe have given 1 or 2 attempts before, 3 attempts before. Also, I have seen people with 3 attempts and they have passed with us in the fourth attempt. So that kind of a thing, if you see. Again, I will say that don't start from the recall session. Start from the basics. Because see, we do not fail in complicated things. We fail when we lose basics, when we are not clear about the basics. So if there has been a failure, there has been some point we have failed to fix our basics. So crash course definitely helps. But if you want to be very sure about your passing, it's always good to start from the basic course because the basics are the problem. So 6 months, 5 months course, this is must if you want to really strengthen your preparation. When is the new batch starting? We are starting from today only. Today is the orientation, and from this week only the classes are starting. Tomorrow the schedule will be provided for next 3 months, and we start the sessions from here. Otherwise, like we have a circular kind of a thing. You see this circle, the ball going around the circle. The ball is here, and if you go around it, the ball will come back here. Now, if the ball starts from here, again we go around, ball will finish here. So something like this we have created. So now, whenever you enter with us, like you enter a Urogyne module, and we have already covered the benign gynae early pregnancy. So nothing matters. You start from the Urogyne, you end with that batch, and the remaining 2 modules which were already covered can be covered with the next batch. Every 3 month new batch keeps on starting. So that's how it is. So you are not going to miss anything. Right now we are starting the batch tomorrow, but if anybody listens to this recording later on, for them I am just putting this that even if you have missed joining on the particular date, you can cover those in the later period, so you will not miss anything. But yes, of course, those who are knowing that the batch starts from tomorrow, and if you are still thinking about whether to join or not, then this is the right time to approach and start from the initial point. Unlimited access to the course material will be there, and that is true for all our parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3, right? So active participation you can choose for your time period. Recall batch allotment will be given to you according your exam bookings. Once you have booked the exam, you will have the opportunity to go for the recalls and the mock. And rest of the time when you are not active, you can be a listener participant in all the sessions, and you can keep doing your homework and still getting the feedback from your mentors. So anyway, if you stay with us, every day you are working and every day you are improving. And as I said, I don't need hours every day. I just need 40, 45 minutes every day. That's it. The small drop by drop, you fill up and go through. Now, how you will see the things on the website and how it will be. Like if we are starting with the self-fertility module, I will give you a schedule, right? Initially, you have to go through these basic videos. You see, when you open up the self-fertility module on the website, you will find these basic videos. So now this is first is expected stations and all the patient information leaflets will be posted here. Then this is the basic template, how it goes about. Then how to take up the scenario of unexplained infertility. How to explain various scenarios of male infertility scenarios. Now, in this video, you will find everything about the male infertility. Like if you have to explain the semen analysis, what you will do. What kind of a report needs to be explained, how you will explain that. Any diagnosis, what possible diagnosis can be there and how you will explain that in the layman language. And finally, when you are explaining the management options in this particular topic, then what are the management options and how you will go about explaining those management options. So complete picture, complete things you will get in these videos. Now you go through these videos. There are also some videos of the old classes and the old students presenting the cases so that you know exactly what to perform in those cases. And then I keep the live session. So after you have gone through this all content and you get the PDFs of this also. So if you want to quickly revise it later, you can go through the PDFs. So like this, you will be doing for all the modules. I'll give you initial 3-4 days to go through this all content, and then we have the live session. In your live session, you can pick up one of the station, or you may come up with a spontaneous kind of a thing, right? Ma'am, give me any station. That would be the best thing, because see, when you are into this module for 1 week, you should ideally try to prepare all the 12, 13 stations which I have given you, the list, right? Because this is the first time when you are preparing your station. Now, if you spend your complete 1 week on 1 or 2 stations, then when you are going to fix up the other ones? So it is always recommended to uh, be open for the spontaneity and try to prepare the all ones. So like this, which I told you, like here the single parent scenario, the female infertility, and then the recordings of the previous live sessions are also there, which you can always go through and listen to what exactly needs to be done. How many active stations I can present in the course? So there will be total minimum 24 stations. Minimum 24 stations you can present in the active classes. I think that's quite a good number if you look at most of the courses. Because I believe that if you are with us, you should get adequate opportunities. You may get more numbers also depending on the scenarios, but this is the minimum number which we can promise you about. This is one of the features which is really, really very helpful. Structured examiner's sheet domain wise. You have the sheet in your front and you can just keep taking. Feedbacks are easy and everything is well structured.
We didn't have to find answers for anything anywhere, because all the discussion, how do we present, everything was given in a typed format. And best thing about it was everything was color coded, like the patient safety points would be color coded in red, and so communication with patient, communication with colleagues, everything was color coded. So when we go through the discussion itself, we will know that these are the safety points which in my first attempt I was not aware and I was missing. So it was really very nice to go through the written material also, plus we had the recorded sessions and every week we were presenting.
So what she was talking about is the same thing, right? So already you have the video session, you have the material which is prepared according to that. So before you come, you already know that what are the domains about. Now in the active session, when you present, you are being tested on those domains and you
We
get
didn't
the
have to find
feedback. Finally, before the exam, 7-station mock to give you the exact chills, the exact fire which you will feel in the exam, that you feel in your preparation itself, and that gives you a final challenge. So initially 24 live sessions covering all modules, followed by 12 live sessions covering recalls. Minimum of 24 stations I assure you will get, and with homework total we do almost 400 stations covered. So almost all the recalls starting from 2015 till date are covered. Unique features are you also get 2 hours of personal mentoring. What is this personal mentoring? You are in a group course, right? But still you get the opportunity to have a personal mentoring. What it is? Because see, sometimes there are some problems because part 3 is not about your knowledge. It also includes your communication, your language skills. Sometimes some things are there which I keep on pointing out in the throughout the live session. You may not be comfortable, and many students actually feel so. They feel offended, and then they stop participating in the active sessions because they feel that they are lagging something. So to cover up those points, we can always talk in private. We can talk one to one. We can discuss about your challenges. I can help you strategize wherever you feel that you are stuck. I can always help you strategize your content. Unlimited access till you pass. I've already told you 7-station mock circuits included. These all are unique points which no courses covering. Special sessions for structured discussion and labor ward prioritization task. Special focus because these are the ones which are must to be prepared. So this is what is about. Every successful MRCOG candidate started where you are today. So stay committed, trust the process, and let us guide you to success. This is the QR code for the full course subscription. Those who want can try over it. I will also add the QR code later when I post this recording on the YouTube. The trial link also. We have a trial link also. You can go and take the trial as well. Now the session is open for your questions. Any questions? Anything? Okay, so I have questionnaire is in this video available on the YouTube after this live session. Yes, the recording will be posted and you will get the recording link. In fact, all those who have registered for the session, they will even get the link on their mails as well. Otherwise, you can also come back to the YouTube channel and find it here. That was the question in the live YouTube live. So any question, anything you guys want to ask or say, by tomorrow evening, you will get your schedules and your batches divided, and you can then start accordingly, right? And we'll be starting with the early pregnancy module. So for now, you can on your websites open up. First thing is always start with the understanding domains. That's the basic module. So through the please go through that understanding domains section. After that, start going through the early pregnancy domains. Dr. Ayman wants to add time for preparation, ma'am. Dr. Ayman, as I said, I don't go with the number of hours required or number of days required. It is more about like how effective your preparation is, right? Even if you are doing 10 stations practice, but you are not focusing on the domains, then it is actually the waste. So you should be ideally doing that in the right way. One module, you have almost 7 days with you. Because for longer modules like antenatal care, maternal medicine, you need to spend more days. So for us, we cover all 12 modules in a 3 months, then 1.5 months of practice and revision, and final 15 days for mock and other activities. This is how things will run along. But largely, you have almost 1 week for this. But remember, this is whatever time you are utilizing, that should be effective time. It is not that if you are reading 5 hours, then you are bound to succeed. You can succeed with 45 minutes also, with the thing that if you are effectively preparing for it, you know exactly what you need to talk in those 10 minutes, then it is the effective preparation. Yes, you can do in 4 months, Dr. Aman. As I told you, it is all about the guidance. Yes, if you have to look for the material, or many of like sites have lot of material, you are going to search out of it, then you waste time in it. But you have everything on the plate, just go through it, then you save a lot of time. So that way it becomes even 3 months. If I am telling you, na February end, people started preparing and they have done their in the May exam, they have passed, and not less marks, 75%, 77%, 78%. So they are not less marks. So they have done it beautifully because they had exactly in front of them what they required. And they do not have to put the effort in bringing that content, but rather just practicing that content is the thing. And already whatever templates they are getting is domain wise. So again, that becomes very much effective. Whatever time you do is becomes effective. Do we get marking sheet under each station in the website? That will be in your PDF only, right? That will be added to what PDF you will get with the session. With every station that will be added, and already it's added to many stations. So you will get it simultaneously along with that. Is the November exam difficult or it is a myth? Everything is a myth. Only your preparation is the thing which you should go about, right? Because it's not about the November exam, May exam. It's not about the center, this center, that center. It's not about that. It's about your exam preparation. If you are speaking what examiner wants to hear, what he has in the structured that sheet that examiner is carrying, if you are speaking that, then wherever you are at any particular center, or at in whether it is November or May, nobody can stop you from passing. When there is a slight issue when you go to the UK center, because in that case, you are like practicing with you are being competitive with the trainees. But then also, if you are properly prepared, does not matter. I passed from the UK center, and in front and in back, there were UK trainees. So there was not at all an issue. What days of the week are the live sessions? Days are not fixed, but but we give you schedule well in advance, 3 months at least in advance, so that you can block your dates for the exam preparation, right? So that's how you can actually block your schedule and try to be there. And finally, recordings are always posted on the website within next 24 hours. So you will always get the opportunity to revise them as many number of times as possible. Yes. Any more questions? Anything else you want to ask about the strategy? But try to utilize your time as effectively as possible. Don't count on the number of hours, or counting the number of stations you are practicing is important. But first, when you are starting, you can take even time to practice one station. You may take 45 minutes, 1 hour, because you are starting this practice. But once your brain is tuned to practice like this, according to the modules, then according to the domains, then it becomes very, very easy for you, and then you take less time. If we plan for November 2025 or May 2026, and if we don't pass in that time, you will be given access to the video till we pass, yes. And access to the homework group, access to all live sessions as a listener. You can always ask your questions. And in the homework group, you will also get the feedback also, right? So complete hand holding till you pass is provided. Aman Wasim, how ma'am, sorry, how ma'am, what is the question, Dr. Aman? Can you please clarify what you exactly want to ask? Are you texting your question? Are you talking about the effective exam preparation? Okay, ma'am, can we quickly go through guidelines while preparation? Yes. Yes, you have to go through only the highlights, the important points, algorithms, right? Bullet points. So that's how it works. Actually, this is actually an advantage of our part 2 course. Those who are our part 2 students, like I can see Dr. Aman, I think you were our part 2 student as well. So in such cases, we keep the access to the part 2 open for the part 3 students, because they have gone through those videos in their part 2, so they can easily revise those in the part 3. So that becomes very easy. TOG library is added to the part 3 students already. I mean, that's for their part 3 course as well. Guideline videos for the part 2, that's an advantage for them. Those who have done, they have the continued access in the part 3 as well. So that becomes very easy. But yes, you need to go through the important algorithms and the charts. Yes. Any more questions? Any more questions before we move ahead? Yes. Anything you guys want to ask? So, yes. Anything? Okay. So I think we can finish this session here. You got the overview of how we are going to do, and just start with the understanding domains. That part of the website module, start from there, and then start looking at the early pregnancy videos. And meanwhile, we will have the live sessions. Tomorrow is the live session for the group B. The students have already enrolled, so new students can also join there to listen to that, and so that you get an idea how it is about, and then your new schedule will be posted and the new classes will start for the new ones. Do we need to do 2025 talks too? Yes, recent talks. RCJ loves recent talks. Yes, any recent SIP which comes, any recent talk which comes is an important part for the part 3. Yes, we need to do that. And talk library is added to all of your part 3 course libraries. So you will find all updates there. Already in your website, you can find the important updates section. There also, we keep on putting the updated things, which you can expect in the exams. Updated guidelines, updated SIPs, they're summaries actually, so that you can quickly take out 10 minutes to go through them. That's where the content helps a lot. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so let's finish. Thank you everyone for joining in. If you have any questions, you can leave me. This is the phone number, and those who have already enrolled, they can write in the Telegram group. Just to want to make you all aware, no admissions on Telegram. We do not ask for any payments on the Telegram, so be careful. There is a lot of scam on the Telegram. Whatever admissions are there, either through the website or you can contact me on the WhatsApp in this number. The website code I have put up here, and this is the phone number where you can contact on the WhatsApp. Okay, bye bye. Take care. And from tomorrow, we'll start again with the full-fledged preparation. And those who have not been able to pass this time, please try and remain confident. We have re-strategized and we'll refocus on our exam preparation to do it this time. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you for joining.